Hi guys, welcome to Reteti Elephant Sanctuary. And we are so excited that it's World Elephant Day. We're so excited to have you here. And the elephants are just about to get their milk, so you guys are just in time. Someone's gotten a little bit too excited and gotten stuck through the bars, so we'll have to help him out. Saidia Kusonga. We got very hungry elephants. We got keepers bringing their milk. As you guys know, this milk is so special and so full of goodness. Not only is it very nutritious and helps these elephants grow to being these remarkable animals with these very impressive tusks, but it is supplied to us by the women who own the milk of the goats, who own the goat milk. There, she's gotten out. Yeah, so we're so happy to have you here.
And I love it. Amaya just asked who here is a foster parent, and please share who your foster elephant is so we can try to feature them today in the feeding. Whoa, hello.
Yes. So we've got an amazing story here between Lomonyak and Babala, who are these two elephants here. Babala was recently rescued, and Lomonyak is a young bull who some of you might know. He's a very special guy, but he's never really shown any interest in the babies before until this little guy arrived. Babala. And since Babala arrived, they've been absolutely inseparable. Here are the two littler ones. They're just 4 months old. They're just getting their bottles and going into bed. It's unusual. And the first thing that all of us think is, could they be related? Might they be related? And if they are related, how do they know that they're related? And where is this really strong, deep connection coming from? It's just, there's so much to learn. These incredibly intelligent and emotionally sentimental animals. Look at them. They're so happy. It's the best thing, watching an elephant drinking all their milk.
This is so, so special. And guys, our co-hosts, Paul and Cristina, have just joined. It is very early for them on the west coast of Canada. So I hope you guys had your coffee and matcha yet. Awesome. Guys, I just wanted to take a moment to introduce Cristina and Paul, who are, if you don't follow them on Instagram already, please go do that. They are incredible photographers. They are incredible conservationists, most notably in the ocean space. So we are very lucky having them beating the drum today for elephants. And just over to you guys to say hello to everyone who's joined because they know you, and to also share your experience at Reteti this past May.
Good morning. Hi, Katie. Can you hear me?
Hi, Mitty. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Katie. I saw Jeremy earlier. He's probably already taken off in his plane, but it was nice to see him.
He's here. Jeremy and Peter are here. I've got all the keepers.
Oh, nice.
And we've got some of the elephants. We are so grateful to have you guys join us.
We are so lucky that we know you as people, that we know you as fellow conservationists, and that we got to experience a little bit of the magic that you've created in Reteti. So thank you.
Yeah, it was, we've spent my entire life working in the polar regions, and then, working with Cristina in the ocean space. And we just went to Africa to get away from the craziness of all the hard work that, goes into just for like a little holiday. And of course, we met you guys within 2 days of getting there. And then you realize that there are obviously passionate conservationists all around the world doing important work. And of course, Amy Vitale did such a beautiful job telling your story in the pages of National Geographic over many years. And then what I loved is the second we met Jeremy and he flew us to Reteti was
to Sarara.
To Sarara and Reteti was his obsession with the community-based narrative. And I love seeing everybody standing behind you and what you guys have done with the Samburu community, empowering women with milk. Can you just tell us that story? I think that's the story that really is going to resonate with everybody. You're not supporting just baby elephants. You're supporting an entire ecosystem. You're supporting an entire region. So it's so important.
Lifting all the women. Over to you, Katie.
Yeah, well, thank you, because thank you for finding your way here and also shining a light on this kind of work, because like you say, amazing things can happen when you have an Indigenous community behind you. And this community are incredible. They have got conservation deep in their culture. And so it's really been a learning curve for us to learn about the Samburu culture, to learn how they have always been conservationists and how they live in balance with wildlife and in balance with nature. And so to have programs and projects like this that is really supporting them and backing them, because they're truly the heroes, which is, yeah, it's an honor to work with. And like you say, they're not just employed as keepers, they're involved in every level, where in the Samburu culture, the men own the livestock and the women own the milk. And so we've got almost 1,800 women who sell any excess milk to feed these amazing elephants and other animals too. And so that, yeah, you're not just feeding an elephant, you're supporting women. And when what we've seen, because we've also got a mobile clinic that is out there every day looking after the community, but what we've seen is the money that the women are bringing in is improving their health, and it's improving the health of their children too. So we've just seen malnutrition going down, and all these kind of knock-on effects that was truly magical.
One thing that I love, Katie, about because we didn't know anything about Reteti or how it works. We didn't even understand why these baby elephants get into trouble, and I want to get into that. But I had the opportunity to follow the milk run, the Reteti team that goes from village to village collecting the milk, and women come walking from long ways away, carrying their milk, and it gets measured and it gets tasted for quality, and then it gets brought back to the babies, and they drink this milk every day, 4 times a day, 5 times a day.
I want to get to the milk in a second, but the thing that amazed me the most, Katie, was it's, I think in our culture, when someone has a job, you ask them, how long have you been doing this job?
So
you're about to do the thing.
Oh,
the elephants are coming.
This is my favorite part. Okay.
Here they come.
And everyone, right now you're hearing an ancient Samburu song that they've been singing to the elephants and their livestock throughout their history.
What a treat to see.
Every last drop is gone
so quickly.
I know.
Yeah, I was thinking how long it takes the women to milk the goats, to bring the milk to the milk run, and then it's gone in 30 seconds.
I know. Hundreds of liters every 3 hours. So this is the last feed of the day, and then the night shift, the amazing night shift team clock in, and they do it every 3 hours throughout the night. And it's not just goat's milk. There's all sorts of other supplements and minerals and vitamins and micronutrients and macronutrients. And I think what we can see is that the elephants are so healthy and their tusks are growing so beautifully. And the impact that that is having on the land.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So you first figured out that cow milk is not the right milk for these babies. Can you explain a little bit?
Yeah, we realized that it wasn't right for the babies. They were getting really bad diarrhea, and a lot of them weren't making it. So we weren't seeing great survival rates. And so we knew there had to be something better. And so that got us researching and understanding. We managed to take some samples and really understand what's going into elephant mother's milk and what we could do to match that with natural, locally sourced ingredients. And we landed on goat's milk, which was just right underneath our noses the whole time. And what it's such an incredible thing, because what we've seen is now working directly with pastoralists. You can work on a healthier herd of goats. So to get a higher yield, you need a healthy herd of goats. And so being able to work very closely with the eco rangers on a smaller, healthier herd, which of course has impact on the land, a really positive impact on the land, because now there's very well organized planned grazing. The eco rangers are working very closely with the community to improve their yield and to regenerate the land. And so it's kind of got a beautiful element of restoration in there too. It's not just feeding elephants, it's not just empowering women and supporting Indigenous culture, but it's also restoring the land.
Yeah, I didn't know that, Katie, that before this program started, people would take their goats out just to range in the wild ecosystems, and the goats can be devastating to the natural environment. But now that they're making money by selling their goat milk, they can actually buy better quality feed. Am I getting that right?
Exactly. And they can get themselves through the drought. So through the profit that they're making from selling the milk in the droughts with a very prolonged dry season, instead of cutting trees and being really destructive on the land, they're able to buy supplementary feed for their goats. And so it's really had this really restorative element to the milk to market program. And it's better for the planet too, because we're not importing tins of milk from the other side of the world. And it's sustainable for this community, so that going forward, they can keep raising and rewilding these important keystone species.
And to give you guys some numbers here, and I'll type them into the chat, but last year we paid out 400,000 USD to the milk mamas for their milk, which is life-changing money for, over 1,000 women in the Samburu community, who then spend that money on clothes for their kids and education and food. We look at pretty high costs to feed these elephants. It's about $12 a bottle of milk now these days with inflation. So yeah, it is just an incredible part of the program to feed the elephants and take care of the women.
And how much milk does one elephant drink in a day?
It's 8 bottles, and I think they are 2-liter bottles.
So 24 liters of milk a day. So, I mean, they're drinking. So, I mean, that's how I really loved thinking about this as a fundable unit. If anybody wants to give, they can give a liter of milk at $12. People can give 2 liters. They can fund one elephant for one day. They could take care of an elephant for a week. They could, just put that into their, that's what as storytellers, we're always looking for stories, and you want to complete the circle. You want to complete the loop. And I've never seen a story like this that's sort of served up on a silver platter of doing great for the elephants, saving elephants. And you'd think that would be the end, but it's just the beginning of this narrative. And, Katie's and Jeremy's lifelong passion of doing good for this region, working with the community. It's just a feel-good story all the way through. The funniest thing for me is when I went and met the various caretakers, you know, in our culture, we always, when someone has a job, you're like, oh, how long have you been doing this? And they're like, you know, they tell you a year, a week, a month, or whatever. Everybody looked at me with this sort of funny, puzzled look on their face, and they're all like, "Well, since the beginning, because it's their project. This is their journey. This is their passion project, their love, and you know, it's their ecosystem there. So of course, it's since the beginning. So you've done something so beautiful here, and it's just felt so great to be a part of it and see it.
Katie, I was so struck when I first arrived in Reteti because I never understood before why these baby elephants get into trouble in the first place. How are they coming to Reteti? And the story really moved me. So can you tell us?
Katie, can you hear us?
She's going to move to a better hotspot.
Okay.
But while she comes back, I didn't know that it is because of the drought and that the pastoralists, the shepherds, you know, they go to the riverbed, which is dry when the rain stops, and they start digging for water. And then the elephants come and they dig deeper, and then the pastoralists dig even deeper. And eventually they end up with a really deep well. And sometimes the babies fall into the well when they come in to drink and they can't get out. So I didn't know that. So these herds will try to rescue their babies, and when they can't, they abandon them. And you see an elephant like Longuro, who's lost his trunk because he spent the whole night in a well fighting against the hyenas that were trying to eat it. And sometimes these babies are found and they are pulled out of the wells and brought into Reteti and get a second chance to have a life as an elephant. And it's so remarkable because how many elephants a year, Courtney, are getting rescued?
We've rescued, I think, about 6 already this year. Katie will correct me if I'm wrong. The rescues typically happen during the drought season. So as with climate change, we're getting longer and more intense periods of drought. The Samburu do their best in, you know, kind of protecting the wells with barriers, but, you know, one elephant will come by and knock part of the barrier out, and then that's where the baby will fall in. And these moms have to make these heartbreaking decisions. You know, do they stay with their baby in the well? They can't get out. But after generally a couple days, they decide they have to, you know, for their survival, move on with their herd, which is maybe a good opportunity to mention that, you know, our World Elephant Day campaign today is about fundraising for a mobile vet unit that will allow us to get to these rescue sites faster. It's not our goal to have more orphans at Reteti. It's our goal to get there faster, help them out of the wells, help cure any, you know, cuts or ailments, and reunite them with their families. So we're really lucky. San Diego Zoo is putting in $125K to this campaign. We're about, I think, 70K shy of our 250K goal, which is incredible. So any dollar that you guys can throw into that link would be huge today for us.
We're going to take you through who we've got. Okay, Naomi, will you tell us who we've got here? From the corner.
We got Kalepo and Seg, and here is Nigeria. They're just hoping to get the next bottle or the second bottle. They are pretending that they have never got the bottle. You see, the lips is dry. So they are tricking the keepers.
Hi, Naomi.
So everyone is like, hi.
So Naomi's one of the keepers that has been here from day one. Like Paul was saying.
She's a Samburu princess.
She's, yeah.
Yes, I am a Samburu woman. Yeah. An elephant whisperer.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I'm proud of my work. I'm proud of these babies. I'm proud of my community for choosing me to do this amazing work.
We're so proud of you, Naomi.
Thank you so much.
Such a pleasure to meet you. We know you're very famous around the world on so many important photographs, and to finally meet you in person was very wonderful.
To see that you are the real thing.
So I think what we were saying is that so many of these elephants are orphaned because of climate. So they've fallen into wells. They are separated from their families. But really that's kind of the cause of it, is just it's a really challenging time for elephant families.
And Katie, elephants throughout Africa are struggling, right? In some places there's too many, but in many places they have been hunted down or poached down. So elephants as a species are struggling. Am I right?
Yeah, they are. It just this changing climate where they have to look for water in much further away places. They're traveling enormous distances to find water. And at the same time, there's development happening and fences going up, and people and wildlife are being pushed into sort of smaller spaces in a sense, because of this changing landscape.
And so these babies eventually get returned to the wild, and I know that you guys follow them as they rewild themselves into new herds.
Yeah, so all of these elephants here, they've all, they've been on such a journey. They've had a really sort of traumatic start to life, and they have bravely given it a second chance. And they will now spend about 7 years here at Reteti. And in that 7 years, they'll start their weaning journey. And we've got some already that have started to be weaned from milk. And then slowly, they will spend more time out in the bush and less time here in the boma with the keepers. And this is an enormous landscape, which has got a huge elephant population that is roaming, 7,000 elephants in northern Kenya, which they can connect with. And we feel, they can even find their families again. They have such a huge migratory route, and they have such an amazing way of communicating that we feel very hopeful that they'll return to the herd that they're supposed to be with.
Amazing. And people can come and see this, right, Katie? I mean, people can come and visit Reteti. We stayed at the lodge, which is beautiful. And you can come and see babies firsthand, which is another great way of giving back to these elephants.
Absolutely. Coming to see it firsthand means everything to this community, because the camps are owned and run by the community. So you're really a guest of the community, and that has enormous impact for people, this landscape, the wildlife. So yeah, coming to see it is really important.
Did you like spending time with elephants, Paul?
It was so, I mean, I think these are some of the first elephants I've ever been close to. And it was just, I knew it was going to be amazing, but I didn't know I was really overcome with joy and emotion and crying. And then I love that, like Naomi was saying, these ones would drink, and then they're so smart. They would leave the compound and go wait for a few minutes and then come running back in as if it's their first feeding time. And that the caretakers are so good at identifying and looking at the lips and then identifying who's already had milk. And then some are bullies, some are just so sweet and gentle. And the way the caretakers have to navigate each individual personality in these elephants. And it's a real beautiful thing. And it's wonderful to see it here. And it's to meet you guys and to see all the other wildlife that you have, to sit there and see the giraffes and the oryxes. And I mean, it's really it was one of the more heartwarming things we've ever done. It was very special.
The baby buffalo that's being rehabilitated.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah, we've got our buffalo best friend who is best friends with Kimani, one of the newer orphans. And I love that. I love seeing that kind of interspecies bond. And it's such a true and honest friendship. And they genuinely are inseparable.
If you want to see a picture of Kimani, I posted one on my Instagram today. Baby Kimani, he's getting big so quickly, and he's so sweet. Oh my God.
Yeah. What I love too, Katie, one of my favorite things was when I think it was Sarah who would protect one of the youngest and newest baby elephants, Kimani. So yeah, so you just have these elephants that take on these right from a young age of 4 or 5 years old. They're taking on a protective leadership, guardian role already. It's just there's such intelligent soulful animals.
Absolutely, they're such emotional animals, and you'll see some of the elephants have a favorite keeper. Naomi and Pauline are favorite to many of the elephants because they've been with them in their most challenging hours. In the first few weeks of them being here, it's really around the clock care. And so we always know who the elephants' favorites are.
Oh my gosh, because the keepers sleep in the boma with some of the baby elephants, the youngest ones, right? And they need blankets.
Yeah. In those early days, yep, they do. Because they are being fed on demand. So not just every 3 hours, but whenever they ask for milk, they get some milk. And so the keepers are there just sort of following every need that the elephant might have. And it's really that love, that intense love and commitment. Here's Longuro.
There's Longuro, so he lost his trunk to hyenas.
Yeah, it really pulls them through. And Longuro's story is incredible because he went through this insane trauma of losing his trunk, and people thought that he would, not make it purely because of, the infection and all the challenges that not having a trunk might have. But look at him now. He's sticking up for himself with other elephants. He's grazing and eating.
Using his little trunk.
Using his little trunk, yeah. And he
Katie,
communicates and plays with the others.
And
A
you
few
think
people
that
have
you were
asked-
saying you think Longuro someday will actually, because I mean, didn't you, if I remember right, you faced not backlash, but everyone has an opinion, especially on social media, that
Yeah,
Guru's not going to make it. You should just do that animal and put him out of his misery. And
yeah.
here Guru has turned into a superstar and is doing incredible. And you actually think Longuro will be able to go back to the wild someday, maybe?
100%. Longuro is going to be back into this enormous wild landscape. He has proven people wrong at every turn. Whenever someone said he won't be able to do this, he's gone ahead and done it. And it was really the community that stuck up for him and said, listen, we've rescued him. If we were going to just sort of euthanize him after rescuing, we should have really left him for the hyenas. But we rescued him and he's our responsibility. And so that love and dedication and, that never giving up really has brought Longuro through some of the most immense challenges.
I want to talk about some of the other elephants because Reteti, which is one of the oldest ones, he's almost 7 years old, Katie?
Yeah. So Naomi, how old is Reteti now?
Reteti is about 6.5 years, and he and the group they are undergoing a weaning process whereby we took 10 of them that are grown up to a separate stable, starting weaning them because they are full grown and they are almost to be taken back into the wild. So now they are not together with these other guys. They are just like in a different stable, starting the weaning process gradually.
So we were very lucky to see Reteti when he was still in this stable, and he's so big and he's so smart. He's capable of taking that bottle and running away with it.
Yeah. Some Longuro cuddles.
Oh my gosh. It's the best thing.
This is the climax, guys.
And Katie, you were telling me the story of a baby elephant that found his own way into Reteti. He wandered in.
Yeah, so the keepers feel like Reteti heard the other elephants and found his way to them and then came back into the stockade with them. So it's a pretty incredible story. I mean, each one of these elephants just have the most extraordinary stories.
I just want to quickly say, I think often, oh, sorry. Oh, go ahead.
No, carry on.
No, I was going to say, as conservationists, often people write us and like, well, the problems seem so overwhelming. How do we save the oceans? How do we stop climate change? And you're right, it does seem scary and overwhelming. And the best thing people can do is to get involved in anything as an entry point. And this is one of the most beautiful entry points that you can get into when you're actually just buying milk or buying medical supplies or keeping the mobile vets out there. Doing good for these animals. And like when you're there in person, it's a no-brainer. You're like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Because again, that complete circle of supporting the elephants, supporting the community, supporting everything. And then all of a sudden it's good for the landscape, it's good for the animals, it's good for the habitat, it's good for the Samburu. So yeah, it's just one of these things. Like if you want to get involved, we always like to get involved in projects that support ultimately the entire ecosystem. And this is one of those. And this is such a natural entry point into helping in doing that. And you've been here for how many years? You and Jeremy, Katie, doing this. I mean, you guys have been doing the hard work since day one.
The two of them were born in Kenya, so
Yeah, but no, like doing this work at Reteti. How long has this been going on?
So we co-founded Reteti with the community almost 10 years ago now. But as a family, we've lived here and partnered with the Samburu for 30 years. And
30.
so it truly is an incredible way to give back and make an impact is to support an Indigenous community and this landscape which they own. And these animals that they are so critical to protecting. These animals, we were just sort of thinking about it here, and they're not just enormous in size, but they are enormous in the importance of this landscape. They are such a keystone species in the health of it, and also allowing other animals to thrive. Without elephants, we don't have the buffalo herds or the impala or the warthogs. And then you don't get the predators like the lions and the leopards. So, yeah.
yeah, I was going to say that people don't realize that elephants are such critical allies in our fight against climate change because they are architects of the landscape at large. They
Yeah.
are capable of shaping the environment, and of course, because they're so big and so powerful, they can find water and create water opportunities for so many other animals, right? And
Exactly. They're
themselves,
spreading seeds.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they're creating water holes, and they're, moving seeds across an enormous landscape because they travel so far. They cover hundreds of kilometers. And so through their dung, through eating grass seeds and trees and bushes, they're spreading that across the landscape.
Yeah.
Um,
So we
yeah,
don't
it's just
baby elephants just because we love them, but because we need them in our fight against
we
climate change.
absolutely, yeah. No, it's amazing that you have been here to see it, and thank you. And I think what we're most excited about next is getting a mobile vet unit out into this landscape and out there in time in those critical hours, to prevent orphans, to see, if we can treat and make sure that families are staying together.
Yeah, it's an incredible thing you're doing, Katie, and we're privileged and honored to have had the opportunity to come and see it firsthand, meet the keepers, spend time with you, Jeremy, and your kids, and you guys living out there in the bush in the middle of nowhere, but opening this opportunity. Any of us can come and visit. Book yourself a flight to Kenya, such a beautiful country, and then fly to Sarara. And not
Yeah,
go to Reteti, go to the other lodges because there's so much wildlife. It's amazing.
yeah. Come and see these elephants, but also the elephants that they will one day be joining.
And the giraffes and the zebras and the lions. It's an amazing landscape, Sarara.
Yeah, they call Sarara the meeting place. So I have a feeling we'll be meeting you here again soon.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
We've already put things in motion to get back there, so don't you worry. We're coming back.
We love all the Samburu, but John is our favorite Samburu. So could you say hello, please, to John?
Of course. Yes, of course.
And Russia.
And Russia.
Yeah. Yeah. I
What a-
know all the keepers have gone back. They had Elephant Day celebrations. Oh, my camera's getting taken.
Oh boy. Well, we're going to have an Elephant Day celebration as well. And Paul and I are going to be adopting baby elephants today. I hope everybody will just adopt an elephant. $100 a day, buys milk for one of these babies and ensures that they can go back into the wild. Am I right, Courtney?
Yeah, I mean, we've got an amazing elephant adoption program right now. It costs about $50 a year. We're going to be moving that soon to somewhere between $5 and $10 a month. But anyone who jumps on the $50 a year will be grandfathered in. So, get in there. We've got also our amazing Kimani and Silai duo that are up for adoption. And so you get all of this incredible content of this baby buffalo and baby elephant loving each other. It's just amazing. And the adoption program, what it is this behind the scenes look at your specific baby elephant, bi-monthly emails that go out with videos and photos that aren't on our Instagram, and just, a lot of details on them. So we're going to be launching also text message updates for those who like getting, little grandparent-like updates on their phone. So we're really excited about the adoption program.
One thing that is not readily apparent is that the babies come into the boma to eat a few times a day.
Mhm.
And the keepers take them out into the bush, and we had the opportunity to follow them and see where they go. And they walk a tremendous distance with the keepers into the landscape, feeding on wild plants, learning from the older elephants what's right to eat and when. It's an incredible thing that you guys are doing, teaching these baby elephants how to be wild elephants.
Yeah. And that's what, we were felt so passionately about, was keeping elephants in the landscape that they belong. And so all these elephants belong in this northern Kenya landscape. And like you say, they don't spend much time in this boma that we're in now. And they're most of the day on their wilderness walks out in the bush, bumping into wildlife, sometimes bumping into other big herds of elephants. And the keepers, who have always been pastoralist people, they've always lived closely to this land, on this land. There's no better people to shepherd elephants across it. Until then, they need to be mentored by an elephant. The keeper's mentorship must be passed on to big bulls or females who know this land, and it's hundreds of thousands of acres, millions of acres of mountains and valleys, and they need to learn where to find water, where to find minerals, where is safe, where is not safe. And so only an elephant can teach them that. And so that's where the keepers hand over.
Yeah, and I'll add too, I think one of the awesome elements of our adoption program, for some of the elephants that had been rewilded, we were doing these sort of singular updates. And we made a change this year so that if you were a foster parent of an elephant that had been rewilded, you're now a foster parent of the entire herd. So now you can actually go in and adopt the entire release herd. And you get these incredible updates on all of their movements, how they're interacting with the wild, the sort of groups that they're forming. And as an example, one rewilded elephant, I can't remember which one, went back to the boma at midnight and brought his wild friends to meet his old orphan buddies. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It was so cute. So that's the kind of updates you'll get if you're a foster parent of a rewilded herd.
And if you get a chance to go and stay in the Sarara Lodge, there's a water hole, and you can sit there having your dinner at night and watch the wild elephants come in and drink water in the evening. And it's just the most remarkable experience.
Yeah. And I think that's what is so exciting about this, is that we're learning so much about elephants. We're learning about what they know about the land and their family connections. And we've always known that this landscape is important, but we're just learning more and more how important it is to protect these enormous wilderness landscapes.
I think for me, Katie, and I don't know if you've been following the news, but the world's gone mad.
Yeah.
It's just such sort of crazy, depressing, scary times when, ignoring climate change and ignoring it's just, I think it's hopefully just a temporary moment in time. But I think with with all of that craziness comes anxiety, fear, a bit of depression, and really the only way I notice why I get depressed is when I become inactive, when I'm not involved, I'm sitting at home feeling sorry for myself or just watching the news. And the only way to battle that is to become active and to get involved in something. And this is such an easy, low entry point into doing good, not just for the ecosystem, the animals, the habitat, the people, the culture, but for your own soul, your own heart. And the fact that you guys do keep people involved, you guys have been so attentive with us and sending information and learning about these elephants. And all of a sudden, it really starts to take you on your own personal journey and help you crawl out from underneath the rock that we've all been hiding under lately. It's just a great way to get involved and to just to feel good about life again. And these elephants are conduit to that, to become part of the herd.
Gosh, thank you for that, Paul, because it is so true. It's kind of like where to begin on how to find, you know, what your place or your purpose. And these elephants and this community are so good at reminding you about how much hope there is out there and how interconnected we all are, how much we need each other.
And how important it is, you know, for you guys are so remote, and the Samburu guardians of this landscape, so remote. They need to feel that the world sees them, that we're here to support, that all of us in this Zoom call this morning are going to become involved in this because we are a community, and you guys are remote, but you're very much, you know, present in our minds every day. We think about these baby elephants every day. We talk about them. You know, they became extended family, and I hope that when we go back, they'll recognize us.
Oh, they absolutely will. You know, they say an elephant never forgets.
That's right. I've heard that.
Well, we're lucky and privileged to know you and Jeremy and your entire team, and of course, your beautiful children that are growing up with these babies. Katie, I just feel that the heroes like you in the front lines deserve our support and our love and our, you know, just we try to spread the word of Reteti everywhere we go.
Thank you. Well, you guys are doing such an amazing job for nature and for the world. And thank you for telling these stories because, yeah,
We're very
we
lucky.
couldn't do it without you.
Courtney, are there any questions from the audience watching?
We have been madly answering them during this call, but yeah, if any, you know, I think, how do you get here? You know, fly where? It is in the Matthews Mountain Range in northern Kenya. You fly there from Nairobi. It's a 1-hour flight, so not too bad. It's also a very long drive, if that's more your flavor. And you know, we're going to be wrapping up soon because so everyone can get on with their World Elephant Day. But I've done this a few times now. I've been there, and it's just so heartwarming. Hello, everyone. What a great way to spend the day. Hi.
Hey guys, good to see you guys.
Thank you so much, Reteti team, for treating us all to this special experience today.
Happy World Elephant Day, everyone. Love you, Jeremy.
Thank you, Paul and Cristina, so much.
Yeah. Every day is World Elephant Day, guys. Let's get behind these baby elephants in this beautiful story and support it. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
so
Paul and
much.
Cristina. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us on World Elephant Day here at Reteti. We are so enormously grateful to you all.
Miss you.
Missed you guys. We'll see you soon.
Asher
See you soon.
All right, bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.